I'm here to talk about the meme coin supercycle, why it's happening, and why it will continue. So, the meme coin supercycle is not just a prediction about the future. It's already happening. If you look at the year-to-date performance of all the major crypto categories, they're a mixed bag with a lot of disappointments and a lot of underperforming tokens. But if you look at the bottom right of the screen, you will see that meme coins in particular are dominating in terms of outperformance right now. Old memes are doing well, and new memes are doing particularly amazing. The era of all crypto assets moving up in unison is over. We're all going to make it is dead. This is a natural step in the evolution of the space. If you look at the first 3 pages of CoinMarketCap, you will see that only 43 tokens have outperformed Bitcoin year to date. And does any category stand out? You will see that 13 out of the top 20 are meme coins. So why is the meme coin cycle happening? There's reasons internal to the space and reasons external to the space. So first of all, there's a massive overproduction of tokens, right? There's 600,000 new tokens being launched in 2024, and this was just as of April. And there's over 5,500 tokens being launched per day. They're extremely inflated altcoin valuations at centralized exchange listing time, right? Let's ignore the software for a moment. Founders get zero-cost basis on the token. VCs and angels get to buy a large percentage of the token cheaply. And then centralized exchanges, market makers, Twitter KOLs, Twitter TH artists, Telegram callers, YouTubers, they all get either token supply or dollars in order to talk about the token, right? And ultimately, retail is the exit liquidity for this. When you're launching at $10 billion valuations, retail is the exit liquidity that ultimately gets dumped on. All of the altcoin price appreciation has been relegated to the private rounds. This is what you typically see in Tier 1 VC-backed infrastructure tokens this year. All of the FDV grows. It happens in the shadows. It happens in the private markets. By the time something gets listed, it gets listed at $5, $10, $15 billion valuations. So retail does not get to benefit from this at all. So they deliberately, I believe, they deliberately list altcoins at extremely high initial valuations so that even after the initial negative 90%, which is inevitable, the seed investors are still up 100x, while retail mistakenly think that it's a discounted bargain. All of the 2024 launches on Binance are literally down only. Every single one except 2. One of them is WIF, which is barely up since listing, and the other is Jupiter, which is obviously meme coin trading infrastructure. Like that in and of itself should be sending a signal here. GameFi, just as a sample category, not looking particularly great either. There's very few non-speculative dApps that have been hits in this industry, and we've had smart contracts for 10 years. So if you look at Uniswap, Pump Fund, Polymarket, FantasyTop, Jupiter, Phantom, DYDX, GMX, Hyperliquid, Rollbit, Shuffle, Blur, Tensor, Solana, and big parts of DeFi, literally all of this, and these are probably the highest PMF products in crypto history, right? They're all either directly related to or dependent on speculation. 99% of altcoins don't justify their valuations, and they often say that it's the regulations, which is the main reason why they don't revenue share, but it's not in their interest to do so, because there are many projects that literally make $500 in fees per day while trading at $5 to $10 billion valuations, right? And goes without saying that these infra tokens aren't going to become monetary stores of value either. So if these tokens make it easy to be valued in Microsoft Excel by investment banker types, then it will be obvious to everybody that they're 100x overvalued. They need the narrative. They need the mimetic premium to support their overvalued market caps. And the crypto token markets don't seem to value revenue over hype either. This is a list of tokens that are most frequently hyped as kind of like large and legitimate revenue producers, which they are, but their respective tokens, they haven't been doing particularly well either this year. The 2 exceptions are Banana, which people use to trade meme coins, and Aero, which obviously benefited from Base's meme coin season as well. So revenue creates a floor, but it also creates a ceiling. And this is probably the most important. Binance research themselves have pointed that there are $155 billion worth of unlocks coming in the next 5 years. That is a huge headwind to anything technological. VCs can't publicly embrace the meme coin thesis because it would pose risk to the valuations of tech alts, a lot of which haven't even launched yet, right? And so, just a reminder, meme coins are already fully circulating, and they have no unlocks. Last but not least, Doge, SHIB, Pepe, and WIF have already proven to the market consciousness that these things can go to 5, 50, or even $100 billion type valuations. And so people are finally waking up to the idea that the token is the real product. And the crypto industry is a token production industry that is masquerading as the software production industry. Many new launches look like this. 80% of the supply in the hands of insiders. This is completely broken. Goes without saying that this does not build community. On the other end of the spectrum, you have something that's much more organic. If you look at the most organic and bottom-up meme coins, you will see that they effectively enabled poor hodlers to get rich, who subsequently become unpaid full-time evangelists for the project. And I think in the next couple of years, you're essentially going to see this ideological war. For a crypto industry that's so obsessed with decentralization, it's crazy how centralized some of the altcoin holdings have become. So the entire token market cannot sustain itself without retail inflows. But the vast majority of retail never cared about technology. Why would they care about that? Does retail care about some blockchain being slightly more private? No. Do they care about some blockchain being slightly faster? No. Do they care about ZK snarks? No. What do they care about? Let's be real. They care about making money, they care about having fun, and they care about belonging somewhere. So meme coins are not a vampire attack against crypto tech. Meme coins are a vampire attack against crypto tech tokens. Big difference. So both meme coins and altcoins are actually selling you the same product. It's the token, not the software. And meme coins are a counterattack of the trenches, right? All tokens, doesn't matter if it's a tech token or a meme token, they're tables at the casino. So why should we play at your tables when we can create our own tables, right? Meme coins are a spiritual reincarnation of the 2017 ICO wave, but in a new form. And even crypto tech projects, if you look at past history, that managed to create cult-like communities and outperformed for a couple of cycles in a row, are those that either had an ICO or had some other way to let retail buy cheap before a major run-up. Why does this matter? Because when you're trading attention, a relentless community is the secret sauce that you need to look for. And if you don't enable poor people to get rich, then you have no community. And in my opinion, airdrops don't build community either. So there's also external reasons for all this. Even from 4 years ago, the world is changing, the world outside of crypto. Inflation is going rampant, money supply is growing fast, the prices of everyday goods are skyrocketing. AI is going to be coming for your jobs. Not even STEM degrees or computer science degrees are a safe way out anymore. Wealth and income inequality are as high as they've ever been, and the situation outside of the developed world is even worse. Accelerating loneliness, accelerating sexlessness, accelerating mental health issues, all of these are going up. The amount of time spent online obviously growing year by year. There's competition, everything is becoming hyper-competitive. There's few remaining perceived ways to make it by people, right? Especially young people. There's diminishing influence of religion in society. This is just an undebatable fact. And last but not least, all of this is essentially a crisis of meaning. And I believe that all of the above is bullish crypto. It's especially bullish meme coins, and it's especially bullish cult meme coins. Last but not least, stories create trends, right? For trends to emerge, there need to be stories that are percolating across the industry and the world at large about people making large gains in a particular new category. Without naming any names, we've already seen 4 or 5 of these with Pepe. We've seen 4 or 5 of these with Bonk. We've seen 4 or 5 of these with WIF this cycle, right? And all of the phantom wallet screenshots that you see of people finally making it, they don't come from utility alts. They don't come from tech alts. They come from memes. And this is why momentum is important. If you study past cycles, because of momentum and reflexivity, the things that outperform in the first half of the cycle is the same thing that outperforms in the second half of the cycle. Again, meme coins are the outperformance thus far. We've seen this with Ethereum. It pumped in 2016. It pumped twice more in 2017. Verge, pumped in 2016, pumped twice more in 2017. Solana, pumped in 2020, pumped twice more in 2021. You've even seen this with NFTs, pumped in 2020, pumped twice more in 2021, right? So this momentum is important, and I believe that the meme mania, quote unquote, we had in March of 2024, I think that was just the first of the 3 pumps. And I think there's 2 giant pumps coming in 2025. So if you look at the top 20 new memes, it's only 8 billion. That just all of the new memes are still cheaper than a single VC-backed vaporware, right? So altcoins are 800 billion, unlocks are 155 billion, memes overall are 40 billion. I don't think Doge and SHIB matter anymore. The new stuff is 8 billion. That is unbelievably cheap. And money, especially retail money, it naturally wants to pump something that is easiest to pump. And that is going to be the new memes. Every cycle, the crypto asset category that outperforms the most is the one that is new, weird, and misunderstood. And parabolas are much more likely to occur in assets that are difficult to value. So not having a revenue is actually an advantage. With each cycle, the main altcoin narrative is becoming crazier. My theory is that this is a byproduct of inflationary pressures on society and its collective mental and hormonal well-being. So anxiety essentially pushes the swarm further down the risk curve.